Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. Our mission at City Current is to power the good, and we do that through positive media, events, and philanthropy. This show features interviews with a mix of business and community leaders who discuss important efforts, trends, lessons learned, and ways to get involved so we can learn more about our community and work together to make a difference. Now, on to the show. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good, and we love talking about Habitat for Humanity and the power of homeownership. That's why we're honored to have with us Hannah Seegmiller, Homeowner Services Manager with Habitat for Humanity, Williamson-Maury. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you, Jeremy.
Absolutely. So we have a lot to talk about when you talk about the power of literally handing over the keys to a homeowner. There's a lot of, magic in what you do in terms of engaging the community, volunteers. There's so much to unpack, but let's start with a little bit of history. Give us some history for Habitat for Humanity, Williamson-Maury.
Okay. So our affiliate has been around for 30 years. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary last year. But Habitat for Humanity as a whole has been around since 1976. So since that time, around the world and all over our country, we've helped over 59 million people in over 70 countries actually improve their living conditions, which is amazing. Here in Middle Tennessee, we've made a really big impact. Well over 300 homes that we have built or repaired here in the southern Nashville area, which is wonderful.
Let's talk about what you do, because it's a lot. And I think a lot of people see one side, but there's a lot of sides. And so let's start with kind of the beginning on the financial literacy, the homeowner resources and classes to equip them. And then we'll talk about the financing and the building.
Yeah. So we are in the business of preparing people for success. So part of that is financial literacy. So during our program, our future home buyers are required to do anywhere from 200 to 280 hours of sweat equity. That includes building on their home and other people's homes, and then completing financial literacy and first-time homebuyer education. All of our partner families have never bought a house before. And so there's a lot of new terms, new things that they've never, ever seen before. A lot of them, this is their first major asset they've ever bought. So we are digging into what that means, how to budget for having a mortgage for the first time, learning the maintenance and upkeep of a home for the first time. They don't have a landlord. So it's a big change for a lot of them. So the program can take anywhere from a year to 2 years, making sure that they're really ready for this next step in their life.
And just like you said, you want to equip them for success. And when you think about, having a home, just like you're talking about, it's one thing to, be able to step into it, but then another to upkeep. And like you say, all the, fixing things, electric bills, there's so much that goes into home ownership. You want to make sure that they really are equipped for success in the future to be able to maintain their home. And I think that's a big piece of it that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and dive into, when you talk about a first-time home buyer, and you mentioned them being a first-time home buyer, talk about the kind of the way it works on the financing, because I think this is a misconception in the public, but it's also a very important piece of the success for how you're able to do what you do. So talk about that, and then kind of what you're looking for on the home buyer side in terms of the qualifications.
Okay, absolutely. So yes, a common misconception is that we give away houses for free. And we do not. All of our partner families purchase their house at an affordable mortgage. We're very unique in the way that we're able to do our lending. I would say we come up with creative solutions. We remove the down payment, and we customize the mortgage payments so that they're never over 30% of a family's 30% of their monthly gross income. And so we do that through a lot of different ways. We could be here all day, honestly. For me, each family is different. And so how we dig into making that possible with lending, it just depends on the family. As far as the qualifications, we are still a lender, even though we're untraditional. Like I said earlier, we're equipping them for success. So we want to make sure that they're able to demonstrate the ability to afford this mortgage payment and then all the other household expenses that come along with that. We are an income-based program. We are serving the low to middle income families in our area. So we do have income requirements. We do have credit score requirements. Want to be able to trust that people can pay back the mortgage that we're lending to them. We do have debt to income ratio requirements, just like a traditional lender would have. They may just look a little bit different. You have to live or work in the counties that we serve. So we predominantly serve Williamson and Maury Counties. However, even though we don't build in some other counties, like Hickman, Decatur, and Lawrence, we do accept individuals and families into our program from those counties that may want to move to the place where they're currently working. And you have to have lived in those counties for at least 12 years or 12 months. So you need to already be a community member here. You need to be at least 18 years or older. And we also have some criminal background check requirements for our general eligibility. So that's a pretty brief overview, but each family is different. I always encourage people to apply. If you're unsure if you would qualify, give us a call or just go ahead and apply. We can review and see what's going on and if we're a good fit, and if not, how we could work to make it possibility in the future.
Let's talk about now the side that a lot of companies see, which is the volunteer side, and out there helping to build the homes, which is a really special piece of the equation in terms of engagement with the community. So talk about that process.
Yeah, we could not do what we do without the community and our wonderful donors and sponsors, and our volunteers, who are often also our donors and sponsors that come out on the build site. We need hands to build these homes, and we need dollars to build these homes. So our sponsors and donors contribute to the building material cost of building a new construction home from the ground up. So if people are interested in getting involved with their company or even on an individual basis, I definitely encourage them to reach out to our development team. Emily Gabhart is our development manager here, and you can always contact her at our office, and she's the person to talk to for that.
Yeah, and to your point, so many companies will step in and they'll sponsor and they'll help, underwrite the cost, and costs across the board are skyrocketing, right? And that's no different in terms of when you look at building a home and being able to help lift the community, and then having the team come out and volunteer, and it's a really special experience. I mean, we've done it many times to go out and help build these homes, and you don't have to have all those skills. You've got your team that helps, yes. And so it's like you can go out there as someone who is learning, but it's fun, it's awesome, it's teamwork, it's teaching you new skills. It's a really cool experience. And then it culminates obviously with then handing the keys to the family. And so talk about that special experience.
Oh gosh, that's a favorite part of my job. These families put so much work into receiving this house and buying this house for their family. I mean, we're talking over a year of countless hours, and the emotional side of it too. It's hard. We're really digging into a lot of really personal stuff with people. And then just like the volunteers are, these families are out on these build sites. They are blood, sweat, and tears building a house. So at the very end, to be able to hand over the keys is so meaningful. And knowing that these families put in the work to get them to this point, and to be able to see that dream become a reality, there's truly nothing like it. We just recently did a dedication for a family, 4 little kids. They have never had their own room before. In fact, for the past a little over a year, all 6 family members have been living in 1 bedroom. And his family is now all 4 kids get their own room for the very first time. And not just the parents, but these kids, I mean, they all sacrificed during the program to make this come true. And oh my gosh, it's life-changing. It's completely life-changing. And to know that these kids will grow up in an environment that will set them up for success too, it's incredible.
Talk about website, social media. Where do we go to learn more, to reach out, to get involved?
Yes, absolutely. So our website is www.hfhwm.org. So that is Habitat for Humanity Williamson-Maury in acronym form. And if you want to stop by, our office is here in Franklin. We're just off of Mac Hatcher. We always welcome people to stop by to inquire about either applying or getting involved. Our Instagram is at HFHWM. We're also on Facebook. So find us there. We're always posting about our new projects and upcoming fundraisers and all the events that we're involved in the area.
Hannah, thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. We appreciate you giving us the time to talk about our mission.
I'm your host, Andrew Bartolotta, and today we're honored to have Debbie Abrams-Cohen, the State Director for the Tennessee Child Support Employment and Parenting Program, also known as TCSEPP, here to discuss this innovative program designed to help parents overcome barriers to stable employment and parenting. TCSEPP, a program within the University of Tennessee's College of Social Work's Office of Research and Public Service, also known as SWORPS, is transforming the lives of parents and their children across the state of Tennessee. Debbie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Can you start off by talking about the overview of the TCSEPP program and its mission?
The TCSEPP started in 2004 as a 17-month federal demonstration grant. That was 20 years ago. It's the whole idea is to help parents who are ordered to pay child support, help them overcome barriers, get stable employment, get stable housing, just get stable and self-sufficient, and also be as involved a parent as they're able to be in their children's lives.
That is so needed, especially when you have parents that are ordered to pay child support and want to be part of being a productive parent, a productive adult. So to have someone that can walk alongside you to help is incredible. What are some of the common barriers you would say participants in the TCSEPP program face?
Oh, so many. When folks come to us, there's a whole host. I mean, we can get something as simple, I don't want to say it as simple, but as simple as they don't have an ID or they don't have a social security card or birth certificate, which are pretty basic needs you have to get a job. We also get a lot of folks who are not, who have some housing insecurity, food insecurity, have mental health, physical health issues, substance abuse issues. Transportation is probably the number one barrier that everyone faces. Either they don't have a vehicle to get where they need to go. Not everyone in Tennessee has access to public transportation. So the only very few cities that we're finding in Tennessee have public transportation, as well as so transportation is a big one. Criminal record is also another big barrier we find. Folks who have things on their record from when they've made mistakes in their life. So I like how you said that we do walk beside them. We really do try and help them figure it out. So many of our folks come to us and they're just so overwhelmed. They have, for what we look at is we go, oh, that's simple. We just need to do X, whatever it is. They come to us and they're so overwhelmed. They're going to child support court and facing jail time, facing losing their driver's license, facing bad credit, facing whatever they're facing. And then they come to us and they're like, I don't even know where to start. I'm just told I'm supposed to go get a job. I don't have stable housing. I don't have transportation. So we do try and help them break it down and figure out what's the first step. What can we do immediately that will really help somebody today? And then make a plan and keep on going.
Just to have someone, an organization to say, we're here to help you and here to provide connections for resources is so fantastic. Can you discuss the primary funding sources for TCSEPP and your partnership with DHS Child Support?
Sure, that is our primary funder. So DHS, the Department of Human Services Child Support, has really made it a focus to really help these parents. And it's not going to help. It's not going to help them. It's not going to help the children they're trying to serve if they just have to keep putting these parents in jail over and over, because then they're really not going to get any child support. So they have contracted with us at the University of Tennessee to provide this service to really help parents from falling off that cliff, right? Like, it's not just about go get a job. You can go get a job, but can you really afford to keep that job? Can you afford to get to that job? Can you afford to then, do you have a place to have a visit with your children, if you're allowed to have a visit with your children? So DHS has been such a great partner in that, where they really put that value of the parent and that as a human being, that's really been a value and a priority for them, which has made it a priority for us too.
I can imagine. What a great partnership there. Talk about some of your primary community partners, because I imagine with so many different areas, from transportation, mental illness, like we were talking about, to even just getting an ID, how do they contribute to the success of the program? And shout some of them out that you love working with.
Awesome. I love that. So, obviously child support is going to be our primary partner. We attend court, we go to child support court, we partner with the judges, the magistrates, whatever it's called in that area, the child support offices, the caseworkers, the attorneys, anybody from the office, can make referrals. They talk to us. It's frustrating for the child support workers when they are getting phone call after phone call of people who are trying desperately to pay their child support, but can't do it for whatever reason. And their job is to say, but you have to pay. This is the order that's been put in court. You have to pay. So we can be a resource to them, which means that they say, oh my gosh, now go talk to TCSEPP. They're going to help you. So that's been a primary, major partner for us. And then we meet with we call them participants, meet with the participants, the parents out in the field. We meet with them at the American Job Centers, is probably big partner. American Job Centers, if you don't know what they are, have great resources. Some are, depending on where you are, some are smaller than or bigger than others, smaller than others, have a great resource to be able to access job prep, job search, anything related to trying to find a job, as well as any other, as we're going across the state. We had been so primarily in East Tennessee for a while. So we have so many partners in East Tennessee, and we are learning the ones in Middle and West Tennessee. Department of Corrections has been a great partner at their day reporting centers and community resource centers. Oh my gosh, so many, and now I'm blanking on them. Mental health centers, halfway houses. So many of those halfway houses, folks are trying to get back into society and do something good with their lives. And then they come out of prison, or they come out of wherever they've been, and they need help. They need a lot of support. So the halfway houses provide the support they do. We provide support along the child support arena, and really try and help those folks get back on their feet. So let's see, mental health, physical health, substance abuse areas. There's so many, we obviously, because of just trying to find resources for folks, it'll be whatever that person needs. I always say that we play detective, that we try and find whatever partner we're going to need to help that parent. And if it means we just Google and find somebody that we need to talk to, and we call them up and say, hey, what about this? We belong to multiple coalitions. There's the Tennessee Reentry Collaborative. It's a coalition. There's a few of them throughout the state. And it's really a coalition of people trying to help people as they re-enter society. So that's been a great partnership as well.
Each participant, each parent is so unique, and to be able to fit their needs, mold to their needs to be successful and be able to pay that child support and thrive in their work and their life is so important. So to be able to mold with each case. About a success story or two that illustrates the impact of TCSEPP on participants' lives.
Ooh, I love this part. I love talking about the successes. And there's so many. So, and I think of a success isn't always just they got a job and they started paying their child support. And a success can range from so many, something, again, go back to the simple thing, right? I can think of a gentleman who was one of the long haul truck drivers, can't think of the right term. And he got sick or hurt. I can't remember exactly. Lost time working for a while, which meant he wasn't getting paid, which meant he didn't pay his child support, which meant he lost his driver's license because child support can put a hold on the driver's license if you're not paying. Well, then he couldn't get back to work once he got better until he had that driver's license. And we were able to do that for him. We paid for him to go get the physical he needed from the Department of Transportation, helped him with the reinstatement fee to get back to get his driver's license. And lo and behold, he started working and paying his child support again. Like, if everything was that simple, it'd be awesome, but it's not. So there was a gentleman we had in a very, very rural area, and he was homeless. I mean, just bouncing from one friend to another. But his father had some land that this gentleman started camping on. And we worked with some partner agencies in that area where I think we bought him the shed. We had a partner agency provide insulation, it had water on the land. So we got it plumbed for the water and got some electricity to it. And it wasn't big, but it was his own. And he was out of the elements and he had a place to stay every day without having to ask somebody else, can I stay on your couch? Which is really hard to do. So that to me was a success that we got him housed and stable so that he could focus on trying to find a job. And he had a place to have visits with his kid if he needed to. We had a gentleman, this was another gentleman. He was homeless. He was living in his car. So he had a car. And one of the things we do, we assess what barriers somebody is facing, but we also assess what strengths they have. So like the gentleman who got the shed, he had a relationship with his father. He could live on the property. That was great. Not everyone has that. Another gentleman came to us. He was living in his car, which meant he had a car. Not everyone has that. He had a good relationship with the child's mom, his ex. She allowed him to park the car in her driveway and run an extension cord. So he at least that was a pretty big positive, but it's not great. He also had a relationship enough with her that she allowed visits, but he didn't really have a place to visit with their child. So we started out really simple with him and got some gift certificates, or at the time it was gift cards to, fast food restaurants. So he'd have a place to go take the kid, go out to lunch, maybe to the play area during the, bad weather, talk to him about ideas to go to the park during good weather, just kind of helping him focus on that while at the same time trying to work on the housing situation. He had some disabilities. We were able to get him into some public housing for people with disabilities. So it was really appropriate for him. He was able to start having visits with his child. He was able to start receiving Social Security disability, which meant he had an income and able to take care of himself and also provide for his child from then on. So those kinds of stories are amazing to me. I was trying to think, I can think of so many. There's so many.
Just when you're talking about those success stories, I think about how defeating some of those situations can be for those men in particular, and those examples, and how you want to be a role model for your children. So to not have a place to bring your child, or even the funds to bring your child to a restaurant and spend time with them, or a place to spend time with them, for you all to provide that for them, and then to allow and provide them opportunities to then get on the right path for child support and get back to where they can fully function and have all of that weight, at least most of it, lifted off their shoulders so they can excel, is fantastic. For those listening right now that may say, that's me, I feel like I'm in this boat, or I know someone, or my son, or my uncle, my cousin, how can parents know if they qualify?
Oh, great question. So we have some eligibility, checklists we have to go through. Somebody has to be ordered to pay child support within one of our covered counties, which is getting bigger and bigger. Trying to think if I can count off the top of my head, 34 counties currently in Tennessee. So as long as they have a child support order in one of those counties and live in an area where we can meet with them and serve them. That's the biggest criteria. They also have to be able and willing to work. They may not be at that moment exactly ready. They may have to deal with transportation or housing or get some other services, but at least they're able and willing, that we can help them. There's a couple other things we look at, but mostly those are the big ones. And if somebody wanted to reach out to us, they can call us. We have to Knoxville. It's an East Tennessee number, 865-946-2020. And they can call and find out if they are eligible. We have an email address also, tsep@utk.edu, which is TCSEPP@utk.edu.
One more time, where can people go to call you for your services or reach out and learn more?
Our phone number is 865-946-2020. They can email us at TCSEPP@utk.edu.
Well, Debbie, your work with TCSEPP is truly inspiring, and it's clear that the program is making a meaningful difference in the lives of parents and their children throughout Tennessee. Thank you for sharing your insights and impactful stories of TCSEPP with us today. Thanks for powering the good in our community and around the globe.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for watching the City Current Show. To learn more about each of the guests, to share your stories of others, leading by example, or to watch past episodes and more media focused on good news, visit our website at citycurrent.com or follow along on social media using the handle or hashtag CityCurrent. We look forward to seeing you again soon, and thank you for all you do to power the good.